Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the L1 Links with Friends show. Today is August 15th, 2025, and we're doing AI and nonsense stories for the end of your week.
Now, we got a lot of OpenAI to talk about. First, before we talk about their newest entry, let's look at their performance so far.
OpenAI's ChatGPT to hit 700 million weekly users, up 4x from last year. Yeah.
That's a lot of hallucinations.
How many more is that people at their organizations being required to use it?
I also would like to, the whole Microsoft thing, and it's like we can be released from Microsoft when we hit certain financial goals.
And that was leading up to their big releases. First, the one that is not as exciting and people probably don't even realize exists.
Introducing GPT OSS. So there's a couple models you can download. These are the open models from OpenAI. You can actually run these on reasonable machines, 120 billion parameters and 20 billion parameters. They are FP4, so they take 60 and 10 gigabytes, respectively.
And the big one, which was the headline.
Introducing GPT-5. Oh, look, that menu lies, because you click the menu and it's just like, you got all the options. You don't have any of the options. You only have the GPT-5 option now. So it says it's their fastest, smartest, most useful model. There's some debate about that.
Yeah.
But it does seem better for coding tasks.
Yeah. Big debate because the people began using it, and as you pointed out, we're not able to use the older models, which is weird because these new models are much more greedy for your tokens. They use a lot more. And people said, hey, I would like to use the old model because this one is terrible.
ChatGPT users are not happy with GPT-5 launch as thousands take to Reddit claiming the new update is horrible. There's a lot of things that are hilarious that people are complaining about, but I have tried you can give it the prompt in the configuration that's like, hey, minimize your output. Like, I don't need a verbose output, just do that. And the 4 version models were much better about respecting that than 5.
Which is weird because it has much more of a context window. There's a great quote from Reddit on here where one guy was like, I've been vibe coding all week and everything's been going well, but it automatically upgraded to 5 and now it's just doing crazy stuff.
I have had some wild responses that I've clicked regenerate response to get it back on track because I just didn't have the energy to try to respond to the nonsense that it was trying to peddle on.
That's what they tell you to do. They're like, oh, just regenerate it like 2 or 3 times, and it's like, isn't that using tokens every time?
Yeah, they're giving you money every time we do that.
That is speed running and shitification. Yeah. Like, that's incredible.
And they said you might have to do it 3 times. So you're giving me a new model, which is already more expensive, but then add 3x on top of that.
I'm glad I can run some models locally. I'll have to reevaluate the local models versus the cloud models. Maybe now the local models are better.
But maybe some of this is because they have to make up some of the money that they're going to lose on their government contracts.
OpenAI offers ChatGPT trial to federal agencies for $1 for the next year. I think it's $1 per user.
Yeah, per seat, I think.
It's like the Price is Right method.
Yeah. They figure that once people start using it, they won't be able to give it up, which is probably true, especially in government.
And then they can enshittify it, which is literally what they're doing right now.
That's every subscription tech model. Yeah, get you addicted to it. And their numbers show that people are getting addicted to it. I mean, look at the Swiss president. Can't get enough of it. And the New York Times lawsuit is continuing. And at this point, OpenAI has kind of given up, and they're like, okay, we will let you read the chats, including the deleted chats, but we only want to give you a certain number. And New York Times is saying, I don't know if that's enough for us.
The Ars Technica headline is OpenAI offers 20 million user chats in ChatGPT lawsuit. New York Times says it wants 120 million. This is related to the court case we reported on a few weeks ago where the judge said, I don't see how you having to log all of the conversations with people that you normally delete is an invasion of their privacy. You should totally do that. I really want this judge to look at this, like whether it's 20 or 120 million, and like actually look at the chat logs. And it's like, now, remember that ruling that you had? Do you want to revise your thinking here, or were you being deliberately terrible?
Now, if those 20 million were random, I think it's a good argument that if you can find a pattern in 20 million, it's going to be the same pattern in 120 million.
Yeah.
But if OpenAI gets the cherry pick, which they could do using AI, they could manipulate that.
I also think the New York Times it's questionable whether you could trust them with that much data, whether it's 20 or 120 million either way.
I will never trust the New York Times with anything.
I mean, you know that there's going to be somebody in there that's asking about, it's like, I've got this, horrible rectal bleed or whatever.
Yeah. Don't talk to AI about your rectal bleeds. That's what you take away from that stuff.
And now it's going to be in the court. It's archived. It's forever. There's going to be like archaeologists a million years from now that's like, oh, we have records of their civilization because of the logged chats.
But let's be honest, and I know this is like a bad argument, but based on the security section that we did on Wednesday, your rectal bleed is already public knowledge.
Yeah. Well, and we're now, we've tainted the data because if someone's looking at transcripts of YouTube videos, they Google or they look up rectal bleed, and it's like, what does this tech video have to do with that?
Maybe that can be the password for our anti-AI underground network.
Our carrier pigeon business.
So, like, if you want to launch a pigeon, you got to come up and whisper rectal bleed.
It's going to be hilarious jokes. It's like, what will clankers never experience? And it's like, no, there's a lot of things. There's one thing in particular.
Well, one thing that OpenAI will not be experiencing is Claude, because they are locked out.
Anthropic revokes OpenAI's access to Claude. They say it was because the OpenAI developers were using Claude to help them code GPT-5. And Anthropic had given access to Claude not for OpenAI, but for OpenAI customers.
But OpenAI said, yeah, of course we're doing that. Everybody does that. We compare our answers to theirs and we see where we are with that. But they were hitting it a lot. So who knows? And Perplexity is out there. They're trying to do their own AI. And in the past, they have been accused of perhaps ignoring the old robots.txt. And some people are bringing receipts, but they say those are invalid.
Perplexity says Cloudflare's accusations of stealth AI scraping are based on embarrassing coding errors. No, we weren't trying to work around that. We just forgot to do some stuff. It seems very sus.
Well, the argument is it's not genuine because the argument is there's a difference between a crawler and our agent running our user's browser. So they say if it's our agent running the user's browser, yes, the user agent should be Chrome because it's the user's browser, right? It doesn't matter that the robot is doing the exact same thing, and it doesn't matter that we're still logging all of that and scraping it. It's not a crawler. So there's you think there will be a job in the future, maybe a very short-lived one, where you literally just sit in a chair and look at a screen and so they can put a camera on you and be like, no, that's a real person. We're allowed to scrape. That's a real person.
That's Warhammer 40K territory right there, isn't it?
It's really bleak.
Isn't that, is that a servitor? Is that right?
Just
is that
a
what a
warm
servitor
body.
is?
Well, I mean, the servitor was they manipulated its brain so it couldn't help but do anything else. You're going to have to sit there as a fully functioning human and stare at that screen.
I have no mouth and I must scream.
And Google is still working on their DeepMind models to revolutionize gaming.
Google's new AI model creates video game worlds in real time. Genie 3.
It's still not very impressive. You can only do a couple of minutes, and it doesn't always remember exactly what the world looked like when you turn around and look at something else. But that's going to be the future of gaming, probably, right?
Somebody's probably going to do a really innovative game where that is the gameplay mechanic. Like you look down and you look around, and it's like the environment is kind of changing around you, and then you turn around, it's like, oh, there's something there now that wasn't there before.
And this one is the nuclear clock people, which, to be fair, it's their job to be alarmist. And they always are. Maybe overly so, but this is a very important thing to consider. But considering what we've seen with everything else that AI gets involved with, it's not hard to believe this.
Nuclear experts say mixing AI and nuclear weapons is inevitable.
Because it's really all about who gets there first, right?
Yeah.
So the AI, thinking logically about that, would probably be like, you know what, let's just go ahead and launch.
We're already seeing some really horrifying real world situations where people are using the tool kind of like as an excuse. It's like, oh, this tool says we should blow this stuff up over here, or like these people are up to no good. And it's like, I'm not sure that anybody's really checked that. Oh, they're already blown up. There's no check.
Palestine?
Yeah, it's not great.
But one happy thought I suppose we can all have is the fact that people, though they might not understand how it works or exactly what it's doing, they are suspicious of AI. And they're angry because they can't understand that is destroying the economy and making them poor and taking away all their, initiative and functionality. And so the movie companies are very sensitive to that.
Disney scrapped Dwayne Johnson deepfake for Moana and AI-generated soldier for Tron Ares. Company couldn't risk the bad publicity.
So they did a pretty good job, they claim, of making Rock's live-action Moana character look like The Rock and, speak normally and everything. They were happy with the result, but they're like, you know what? If people find out we did this, there could be backlash. So let's not do it.
This year.
So keep lashing back
Uh-huh.
as much as you can. And Grok was embarrassed because it went a little bit racist in some of its more recent iterations.
Grok is really just Tay, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And that was because they took all the guardrails off. Well, they took a different set of guardrails off this time, and it was predictably, the outcome was very predictable.
Grok generates fake Taylor Swift nudes without being asked. Yeah, it has spicy mode apparently, and then with that it just does what it wants based on whatever.
But to be fair, this editor did enter a prompt about Taylor Swift and then clicked spicy. So
Can we do that with Elon? Is there guardrails for Elon?
it probably just makes a version of him that's really impressive. So this version of Taylor Swift was at a concert or a music festival or something, and she went topless and danced around. It also pointed out that the crowd didn't react at all to the toplessness, which is hilarious. I don't think that's true. I think the crowd would go wild if such a thing happened. And this is just disgusting, and this is the dark place that humans will take AI.
The Variety headline is Jim Acosta interviews AI version of teenager killed in Parkland shooting. "Quote unquote, it's just a beautiful thing." It's like I don't know that I would agree with that. This is some type of rage bait saying this.
Oh yeah. And the parents signed off on this, which, I understand their loss and everything, but that is disgusting. To politicize your dead son, that's pretty low. Surprisingly, the dead son agreed with Jim Acosta on everything.
That's good. You bring up some good points. I think you're on the verge of a great discovery.
You know what the dead son did? He cut to the heart of the matter. Gun control. And remember when we thought that driverless trucks would be before all the other jobs? Hasn't materialized, right? But they're chipping away.
Aurora announces nighttime driverless operations and Arizona expansion. So, self-driving trucks without a spotter.
At night. They claim they'll be better than humans at night because the LiDAR doesn't have to worry about things being bright. And this one's a little bit older, but I wanted to throw in another physical robot story. We have another competitor to the one we looked at last week.
China unveils humanoid robot worker with brain that runs 275 trillion operations per second.
How long can he stay charged, though?
He doesn't look like he has a big battery.
The other one was only an hour.
They're using them to sort containers in a warehouse, apparently.
Which I don't know if that $5,000 one was capable of.
No, it didn't have flexible hands. It just had
Well, I don't know if this guy's got flexible hands. I think he's got something else. See, there's he's got two different things, it looks like.
Why? I guess because the machinery is probably already tailored to humans, but it's like, why follow the human model if you're not gonna?
Well, evolution has made us pretty versatile.
Yeah.
I mean, think about how much better we are at all that stuff than a cow, for example. You think a cow's going to stock shelves in a warehouse?
Well, I'm saying our shelves and stuff are designed around humans. Eventually, it'll be designed around robots, right?
How would you design a shelf for a cow?
That's a good question. The other question that a friend and I once discussed was, how would you design a chair for a bird? Because their legs are the opposite direction of ours.
Well, I think
it's a fun design challenge.
I think we've already got the answer for how Walmart would be designed for robots for restocking. It's going to look like Amazon, where it's got the bins that are removable, but you also just reach into the bin to grab the thing.
Well, or conveyor belts. Why not just have conveyor? Like in Factorio.
You would do it like the freezer section, right? The refrigerated, where they'll be able to go in under there, and you'll have shelves on either side, so they'll fill everything in from the bottom.
Yeah.
You'll be able to look back in there and it's like, I see the robots.
Or the back, just stocking it from the back and then.
Well, considering all the problems we have here on Earth, the one thing that we need for sure is more moon infrastructure.
Duffy to announce nuclear reactor on the moon. This was a bizarre story, but okay. There was something that this story linked to that was something that I never knew, which was when Gorbachev was meeting with Reagan and some other thing that they were doing their whatever, and this was like at Camp David or somewhere. They were doing the regular meeting, and then after the meeting, because they were talking about moon and like moon base and like how they were gonna like, you know, what if we do this, whatever. Reagan out of nowhere asked Gorbachev, it's like, so if space aliens came to the Earth and we had to defend the Earth, would you help us defend the Earth? Because it was kind of like also the height of the Cold War. And I was like, oh yeah, we will totally help you defend the Earth against space aliens. And Reagan was like, okay, that's good to know. And it's like, okay, interesting. Moon base. Interesting. Okay.
So he claims that the first person to get a reactor on the moon will be the footprint that we need to sort of make our claim, right? If you've got power there, you've got a defensible position, and you can claim this is our part of the moon. Don't mess with it.
Seems like China's in a better position than anybody to do that.
And speaking of aliens, one of the best alien stories in the world, and in fact, it was so impactful that people believed it and started freaking out and doing crazy things, has been adapted, perhaps in the poorest way.
How did the new War of the Worlds movie get a 0% critical rating? It was a cursed COVID version of H.G. Wells' classic starring Ice Cube.
Which was filmed in the manner of like it was all his desktop. You were looking at his desktop the entire time. Like he was doing Zoom calls and tracking things. And I guess that's how they got around the whole like
we can't
do a movie shoot. So let's just have Ice Cube sitting at a computer for the entire movie. Apparently it didn't resonate with the fans.
A really good writer could maybe make that work, but not for World of the Worlds. Or War of the Worlds.
It's already been written.
Yeah.
And we have a new TikTok challenge, and boy, is it stupid. But unfortunately, despite the fact that it was catastrophic, this lady considers it a win.
Russian mom influencer breaks her back trying the Nicki Minaj stiletto challenge. Her first mistake was doing this apparently on a kitchen counter.
Yeah, why not do this on the floor?
It was an overturned saucer and baby formula, and she slipped and hurt her back.
So she hit a vertebrae on this back corner of the table and smushed it.
Ugh.
But she says it's great because do you know how many views I'm getting? Do you know how many people are reaching out?
I weep for humanity.
I can't lift my child now, but
somebody else is gonna have to raise this kid. But look at my views.
Oh yeah, the article did mention that she was just 8 weeks out of the hospital. Like
postpartum. That's.
And collectible card games and those kinds of venues where you go and do that thing in person. There is a stereotype that seems to be true. I haven't gone to a lot of them. I went to a Magic the Gathering event or two in my youth. They stink.
To battle the smell problem at TCG tournaments, a Japanese company is trying to crowdfund a specialized shampoo for card gamers.
I don't get it though. Like we already have shampoos that are perfectly functional.
Is it really the shampoo though, or is it the body itself that needs to be cleaned?
Yeah, I think it's more of a deodorizing requirement than the hair. Right? Although a lot of people do have long hair, like greasy hair at those places.
I guess it holds smells.
But I mean, if you make it a bottle with an anime girl on it, is that going to make them use it? Surely Japan already has that. I don't think that's the solution for the problem.
Yeah, I don't know what it is though, because nothing seems to work. It's been a problem for 20 years.
And last week we had the story about Pikachu, and I was so excited that we get 2 weeks in a row
I've seen this mod
about big naturals.
Unplayable without it. The Polygon headline: Why 250,000 Baldur's Gate players gave Withers big naturals.
They had a patch a few months ago where it was like, yeah, you can do mods, and this is a very popular one.
We reported on this before too. Like something happened, and there was some. We reported on this mod before. I don't remember the context though.
It's important.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's like
maybe the most important news we've discussed.
250,000 people have installed that mod.
Talk about bread and circuses. The world is burning, and we're looking at Withers' neckline.
And the guy that made the mod also has mouse pads that
Or Withers big naturals. Yeah.
Do they have the raised?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. The wrist rests.
Yeah.
It's about time to replay that game.
Maybe we do a mod run. And we have a new report from the United Nations themselves, which hilariously has discovered that people don't care about bureaucracies and what they say.
UN report finds that United Nations reports are not widely read. That's too bad because, a lot of the United Nations reports are really good, but a lot of the time they're inactionable. They're like, this horrible thing is happening here.
It's just depressing, yeah.
And there's only 3 untenable things that we can do to try to deal with that.
I could not disagree with that statement anymore. It's not physically capable of doing that. We're so polar opposite on that.
I mean, it's interesting. Some of the reports is okay, somebody did the research here, I guess, maybe.
Now, I tried out the Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, and I was impressed.
They work really well. If you have ever, you don't have this problem, but if you've ever been around children and they get crown or scuff marks on the walls, that's the only thing that'll take it off.
Well, I got cats, so. But I did not know that I was actually causing a huge problem by using it.
Magic cleaning sponges found to release trillions of microplastic fibers. So this material apparently sheds as it's, being abrasive, and that is not dealt with properly in wastewater or runoff water treatment plants.
My question about this isn't that true of fake sponges too? They're also plastic.
Not as much, because the way this material is designed, the thing that makes it magic causes way more
Abrasion,
shattering at a smaller scale. So the magic is real, but it also just transfers into your brain and testicles after using it.
It's a true magic.
Yeah.
The magic's in all of us.
And there was maybe some kind of magic being practiced at Trader Joe's recently, and I think this was in Seattle, right?
Yeah, it's just in Seattle.
Not what you want to see.
We're going to change the headline slightly. Police arrest man for threats to kill following his assault of a Trader Joe's refrigerator.
Also, Comic Sans?
Well, I mean, it is a silly story.
I guess.
This is not the first time this person has been doing this kind of thing in public, and they arrested him. This is someone that probably needs to be in a mental health caring facility kind of thing.
Which we don't have.
Which we don't have. No. They should not be releasing him.
That'll be a county jail for a couple of days and then right back to Trader Joe's, where he'll be trespassed and locked up again, and the whole cycle will repeat.
And that poor refrigerator will get no justice.
And he'll reoffend. He'll get offended over and over. And another story that we're seeing alarmingly frequently is fake doctoring.
Doctor convicted of practicing medicine without a license for home genital exams in Cincinnati.
Oh,
so this
local interest story.
This guy is training to be a doctor, but he's in a weird interim period. And he reached out on social media and said, hey, guys, I need to perform a certain number of
ultrasounds,
male genital ultrasounds, in order to get certified. That was a lie. He just wanted to do it.
It's weird that the hospital that he's working at doesn't allow him to do that there.
Oh, yeah, because he was doing this at home.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I suspect that some of the people who showed up for this knew that it wasn't legitimate. I think everybody was just looking to do it.
That's not okay. That's not okay.
It would be, as long as
if everyone was upfront and open, be like, I'm not here providing a medical service. I'm not here in a capacity as a doctor or a medical student. I'm just here for other reasons.
And they say that revenge is a dish best served cold,
with ham, apparently.
Which seems to be the case with the eggplant in this case.
A customer got upset over a sandwich at a bakery 4 years ago, and he just showed up and killed the owner.
But the headline says killed, but the article says two people got stabbed and they're both still in the hospital, or one got out of the hospital and one is still hospitalized.
Yeah, that's what I was confused by that too.
So I don't know if they actually died. But it was 4 years. He was allergic to eggplant, got sick, waited 4 years, and then showed up with a knife.
That seems insane.
Well,
again, mental health.
How do you... Surely there's something else that's happened in that 4 year period that's made you more angry.
Sure, probably, the same thing that's making us angry, right? It's the crushing weight of modern times. And he was like, who's responsible for
this?
If I hadn't eaten that eggplant, everything would have been different.
Maybe he's right. Maybe he knows something we don't.
And this is India. And so we have some international rules about airports and how we shorten the names of them. So obviously, you got to put the little, you're looking at the air traffic control stuff, you got to have a little 3 letters. That's all you get. They don't like the 3 that they ended up with.
Inappropriate. BJP MP not okay with the code for the Gaia Airport. Government cites IATA rules. The code was gay.
Imagine all the things that are wrong in India right now.
And that's what they're
And
arguing
this
about.
is the problem they're focusing on. And this one turned out to be a bait and switch. I'm very upset, Local 12.
The headline is breast milk ice cream debuts available for purchase nationwide. But not so fast there.
Yeah, it's not. There's no actual breast milk in this ice cream. It's been made to simulate the taste of breast milk,
I thought they added like some omega somethings to it or something.
which is apparently salty.
Yeah. There's a list of stuff they added.
It's an electrolyte mix.
Yeah.
This is a follow-up. I don't know if you guys remember, but we covered the bee story. Well, that is now played out in court, and she continues to be on the run.
Hadley woman who unleashed bees on deputies arrested in Tennessee after missing her trial in Massachusetts.
Oh, I guess she's not on the run. They got her.
Yeah, she was evicted. She was in the process of being evicted. She was leaving this house when the police showed up, not for the eviction, but for missing the trial. And then she tried to. It's like, I mean, yeah, that's like the perfect photo because she had already packed up the bees on the trailer. I was like, oh no, you're not going to take me. But they did.
No, you're getting the timeline wrong. The bee attack was during the eviction itself.
Oh, okay.
Then she went to court for that, got released after a bee attack, and didn't show up for the actual trial, and so now the bench warrant. I don't know if she was in her beekeeping gear when she was arrested for the bench warrant. You know who that was unfair to, though? The bees.
Yeah.
It's unfair to the bees. I don't know if I feel too bad for the cops, but
Because she just smashed the bee containers in order to unleash them. Where are they going to live?
not in there anymore.
And, we got to face the specter of our lovable pets. We're probably going to outlive them. We're going to have to deal with their death. Do you cremate? Do you bury? Maybe have an urn in the house? Or maybe if you are just completely a sociopath and don't care about your pets, you'll do this instead.
Denmark Zoo asks the public to donate unwanted small pets or horses to feed captive predators.
And that is not after they are dead, by the way. They said they will be gently euthanized. So it's just like, oh, I got this cat, but I don't really like it. What could I do with it?
I mean, I'm sure, I guess on some level this probably happens, but it's distasteful to see it put on their social media.
Is this something that happens in Denmark? Is there like a cultural gap here?
Maybe don't adopt pets if that's how you feel about it. And maybe don't go on a video shoot out in the wild dressed as a troll if you're not ready for the consequences.
Grizzly bear charges towards Seattle Kraken team's mascot during video shoot in Alaska.
Why would the Kraken mascot be a troll?
That doesn't make any sense.
It should be an octopus, right?
Yeah, I would think. Think how much more fun that would be, too, in terms of a costume.
Or at least a whale or a big fish or something. But yeah, you can see there, he's dressed up as the mascot. They were doing some kind of promotional shoot here, and that bear was not having it.
Well, they're fishing, too, and he's like, I'm trying to eat here, dude. This is where I hunt.
This ugly bear is going to come in here and step to my fishing hole? He doesn't even weigh 200 pounds.
Oh, has Fat Bear Week passed? We always forget when. I think it's in the fall, right? When they're
'cause they're
bulking
about
up.
to-
Yeah.
We're all, I think it's October, right?
Oh, we got
October,
time.
November. Yeah, we're not going to miss Fat Bear Week. If we have to crawl on through broken glass,
That's a staple on this
we're
program.
going to talk about the fat bears. But we can also talk about the crabs, which are interfacing with AI like all the rest of us.
Oh no, Wavy Dave. Robot crustacean waves at fiddler crabs for science and has a bad time. The crabs, it's really interesting actually in the video because the crab sort of is waving naturally and the robot crab is waving robotically. And the other crab starts to wave robotically too. And then it just loses its mind. It comes over and takes its claw off because it's made out of Legos.
Whatever was being communicated, it didn't like.
This is how we should react.
Yeah.
When the AI starts, being too weird.
But it is funny how, it's like the robot waves and the crab just sits there and it's like waves back and then it goes on and the crab's just like, all right, I'm done with this.
It's like that same urge I feel when I see like a delivery robot. I just want to push it over.
It was weird though because the crab started waving more robotically. It was mimicking it.
Well, yeah, maybe it was trying to communicate, and then it didn't get
But
what it expected.
In the article, they thought it was the crabs were communicating there's a female nearby.
Yeah, he might have been given bad info. And the
Yeah.
guy was like, oh, you're lying to me about this. That's not the crab bro code. Come on. How dare you? And finally, this good girl is going to be healthy. She's back in the wild. She's going to be okay. She will have to gain quite a bit of weight because, as you can see from this picture, she got real thin.
Bear freed after getting its head stuck in a jar. Unclear if it contained honey. It was stuck like this for 8 days.
Oh.
They said she figured out to dunk the jar in water so she could drink, but she couldn't eat. They tranked her, got it off.
Oh.
I like how they do the trophy pose.
Yeah.
But she's not dead.
She's just sleepy. That looks like a Roo dog.
She's going to wake up and it's just like, wow,
What just happened?
that's crazy, but the jar is gone.
I throw off her balance a little bit for a while.
I wonder if they give her a snack for when she wakes up.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
like, it's in a jar. Let's see if she learned her lesson.
Here's a plate of peanut butter. Enjoy.
Well, that's it. That was the final nonsense story. Something to enjoy at the end of your week. We will be back next week with our pigeon carrier app and also another episode of the news.
And we will be accepting venture capital applications for our pigeon.
Also, people who know how to handle pigeons.
Please register at rectalbleed.com.
Bye.
That is milkraptorlabs.com/rectalbleed. Thank you very much.